Episode 11, Blowing Steam with Dean. As always, I am your host, Dean Ferreza. A lot to talk about today on the show. We got Rangers Elimination Day. Disappointing end to their season. We're going to get into that. Knicks, big win the other night. Putting it a physical game to the Miami Heat. Julius Randle looking amazing off of the ankle injury. Straight up bully ball inside. Huge win for the Knicks. The Knicks go down 2-0 there. We're probably looking at a Miami Heat fucking series win. Because I don't know if the Knicks would have bounced back from being down 2-0, losing the first two games at the Garden. We'll get into that. Aaron Rodgers and him completely buying into being a Jet and everything that comes with being a quarterback in New York City. He's showing face in Madison Square Garden. He's taking the younger players out. He's bringing this whole culture, this whole win now culture together, and it's rubbing off. You can just see on the guys that have been talking recently to the press about Rodgers' presence in the building. We're going to get into that, but where we're going to start, folks, we're going to start with the team in Flushing, Queens, just not looking good. I mean, they get the split Monday against the Atlanta Braves. Now we go on the road. Easier matchup. Tigers were fucking dreadful. 10-17 before the Mets walked into town. And I don't know, folks. I'm starting to get concerned. I'm a little bit worried. We might have problems in Flushing. Yesterday, of course, Mets played the doubleheader against the Tigers. Tigers are absolutely dreadful, as I just said. They were 10-17 before yesterday's game. And the Tigers, I think, were in the bottom of the league in runs scored per game, too. I'm trying to pull up their stats right now. Just give me a second. They're 27th in batting average. They're 29th in on-base percentage. They're 30th in runs. And they're 27th in home runs. Go figure. The Mets show up. And they get shit pumped. The Mets got shit pumped yesterday in both games. It started with the game that Joey Lucchesi pitched. Eric Haas goes yard in the first inning. 3-run home run, of course. Javi Baez, which, go figure, you knew. Javi Baez has been fucking horrific all year. He was batting .208 going into the game. Go figure, you knew Javi Baez was going to stick it to the Mets. Home run in the fucking third inning. And, yeah, pretty much the Mets scrapped 2 back in the second, but Baez's home run in the third puts them up 4-2. Mets go ahead and get the lead. Now it's 5-4. And Lucchesi struggles through 4 innings. 5 hits, 4 earned, 1 K. Jacob Yacobonis comes in relief of Lucchesi. Actually pitches very well. 36 pitches, 3 Ks, 3 innings. And in typical Mets fashion, the bullpen just blows it in the 8th inning. Adam Ottavino, who's struggled all year, ERA's in the 4s, comes into the game and delivers the death punch to the fucking Mets. Just looked out of sync from the moment he came into the game. Verling got a single, then he steals second, and Eric Haas with the blow, with the single, scores Baez, and the Mets lose game 1, 6-5. Pitching for the New York Mets, big issues right now. I don't know. Lucchesi did not look good yesterday. And then we get Scherzer back off the suspension, game 2. And is Scherzer always been using the sticky stuff? Because this is a spot where you think Scherzer coming off of suspension should be pissed off, should dominate this team after the offensive statistics I just told you for the Tigers. And he comes out yesterday and gets pumped. Haas hits a home run off of him. Verling hits a home run off of him. Final stat line on Scherzer, not very good. 8 hits, 6 earned, 3 Ks, 75 pitches, and 3 1/3. Listen, has he always been using the sticky stuff and just getting away with it? Has he been using some sort of clear? I don't know. But now this is a question going forward, is Scherzer going to be able to get back into form? Or is Scherzer on the downside and the Mets are in deep, deep trouble with this pitching rotation? Because as it stands right now, with the pitching rotation that the New York Mets have, with Max Scherzer, Kodai Senga, Tyler McGill, Joey Lucchesi, and Verlander finally coming back today to make his first start. I don't know, boys. I don't know. We're going to need some help. We're going to need some help. I don't know where it's going to come from. I think Epler's got to start fucking dialing people up, looking around, seeing who's going to be free, because it's not looking good for the Mets. It's just not looking good. Currently, the Mets are 5 games back in the division of the Atlanta Braves. The division is tight right now, 2 through 4, all separated by 1 game, really. So Atlanta's Atlanta. Atlanta has a great team, great pitching staff. I think they're going to run away with the division, but the Mets are just, I don't know. I think we're going to need help. And I talked about this the other day. The guy's available. He's been in New York. He's played in the spotlight before. He's dealt with the New York media. I know what comes with him. But again, the guy's a fucking free agent. I do not know why the Mets have not contacted Matt Harvey to at least sign a minor league deal. I do not know why. Verlander's coming back today off of his injury. Who knows? We can get a start from Verlander today. He can fucking trigger the injury again and be out. Okay? Do I really want to watch the guy they brought up from AAA again, who got shit pumped by Atlanta on Monday in the first game of the series? Can't even tell you his name. He's horrific. Do I want to watch that guy again? Matt Harvey in the World Baseball Classic proved to the world that he's becoming a pitcher, not just a thrower, and he can still get guys out at the major league level. So why not give the guy a chance to come in, pitch in the minors, get right, and then bring the guy up? I don't get it. I know the circus that comes with Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight, and maybe the Mets don't want that aspect or that angle in their clubhouse. It seems like the clubhouse is very tight right now. Maybe they don't want to bring that in. But at the same time, the Mets need help. They need help, and I don't see what else is out there for them to really go after. It just makes too much sense to me. It's a low risk, high reward. If Harvey can come in here and be a pitcher, which he showed in the Classic when he was pitching for Italy, that he's not just the thrower anymore because he doesn't have the same velocity. If he can come in here and pitch and hit his spots, he can be very valuable to this Mets team, especially with the status of Quintana being unknown, Carrasco still fucking hurt. I mean, the Mets need the pitching depth because they don't have it in the minor leagues. We've seen the guys from the minors come up. They haven't pitched very well. Where else are we going to pull bodies from? It's too early, I think, for Epler to start dialing teams up and trying to get on the horn and see what's out there, see what's going to be available. So, in the meantime, it makes the most sense to bring Matt Harvey in. But I'm not the GM. I'm just telling you how I feel. I think that they should have fucking done this in spring training right after they saw Harvey being able to get guys out and be effective. I think they should have made that phone call then. It would have been a smart move for them. But we'll see. I'm going to keep on preaching it as long as Matt Harvey's a free agent. I'm going to keep on preaching the fact that the Mets should just bring him in for a contract. They have nothing to lose. They have literally nothing to lose. If he sucks in the minors, you cut him. That's it. Gone. See ya. But if he could come in, have a couple starts in the minors and be productive, there's no reason why he shouldn't be on a major league roster. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the New York Mets. all that being said, I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about this, but I'm going to talk about it right now. Monday night, one of the worst managerial decisions I've ever seen. Aaron Boone, who notoriously does this to pitchers. When pitchers are cruising and it looks like they're about to get a nice complete game shutout, at the first sign of trouble in the ninth inning, Aaron Boone goes to the bullpen all the time. And it backfires, I want to say, almost 75% of the time. He pulls the guy who's cruising, mowing people down, low pitch counts, brings the bullpen in, because at that point, if you're a reliever and you see a starting pitcher is just mowing guys down, like Herman was the other night. Domingo Herman was fantastic the other night, and he got fucking shammed by his manager, Aaron Dickhead Boone. Stat line on Herman the other night, 88 pitches, 6 Ks, 2 hits allowed. The 1 run earned came after they pulled him. Clay Holmes, not very good. He hasn't been very good this year for the Yankees at all. 4.50 ERA, 0-2 on the season. But if you got a guy in Herman cruising, and at that point has only given up 2 hits, 88 pitches, why not just let the guy finish the fucking game? Stop babying these pitchers in the major leagues, especially if the guy's not even at the 100 pitch mark. Let the guy throw. Let the guy throw. You pull him, you bring in a guy from the bullpen. The bullpen at this point in the 8th inning, the last thing they're thinking about when Herman's cruising along is getting ready to come into the game. I don't think managers understand that. There's something that goes into the game flow of a game. When guys see a starting pitcher just dominating, I think most guys in the bullpen check out, other than maybe, I don't know, the closer, who I know Holmes is the closer / king. There's a whole situation going on with the Yankees, but there was no reason to pull Domingo Herman. And then they lose that game 3-2. I thought it was the perfect time to fucking give Aaron Boone his pink slip, because the dude, I like Aaron Boone as a person. I don't think he's a very good manager. And I think most Yankee fans agree. They've seen enough of Boone trying to run guys like Hicks out there and try to run all these other misfits that the Yankees have. The Yankees are in a deep shitstorm too right now. They just won their last 2 against the Indians, granted after the fucking debacle on Monday. But they got Judge on the IL. They have Stanton on the IL. The Yankees are going to have to scrap and claw their way to get wins right now with a lineup that's not very good and a manager who just pushes the wrong buttons, it seems, all the time, but still has a job. I don't know how that works. Cashman shouldn't have a job either, because Brian Cashman failed this offseason to improve this Yankee roster. Failed tremendously. And there's one big signing that he made, other than Judge, Carlos Rondon. I don't think he's going to pitch for the Yankees this year. It's just one of those, it seems to be one of those Yankees signings, and it's always the Yankees. They go out, they get these top-end starting pitchers. I wanted Rondon for the Mets. Don't get me wrong. Rondon was a top-end arm on the market. I wanted him. The Yankees got him. I was happy for the Yankees. But it just seems like the Yankees always step into that pile of shit of when they go and get the top arm on the market, the guy is never available from spring training forward because he's hurt. Rondon was shut down again. Tightness in the back. Going to be reevaluated in a month. Not good. Not good news for the Yankees. But they'll have to scrap and claw their way to wins, despite the manager just being inept at times and not knowing the situation. But Cashman, he's getting a pass because he's bringing up the kids, and Volpe, Peraza, and letting these kids play. But they didn't improve any of the holes in the roster by just bringing the kids up. There was no reason the Yankees shouldn't have been in on Trey Turner. There's no reason why the Yankees should not have brought back Andrew Benintendi. these are the moves that the Yankees should have made but didn't. And Cashman seems to always get the pass from the Steinbrenner family. It's got to be frustrating as a Yankee fan. I'm not a Yankee fan. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm an avid Yankee hater. But it's got to be frustrating as a Yankee fan to just watch this team day in and day out when George is not in the lineup, when Stanton's not in the lineup, and you're watching guys with 174 batting averages batting 5th, 6th in the lineup. It's tough. It's tough. And Cashman, I didn't think Cashman deserved the extension at the end of last year. I thought they should have parted ways with Cashman. They didn't. They brought Cashman back. They extended Boone. So it just seems like the Steinbrenner family, you know, they're just content with winning 90 games at this point and being in the playoffs, but they're not pushing the envelope like the Yankees always did to be a championship team. So it is what it is. Both New York baseball teams not looking very great at the moment. I'm interested to see how Verlander looks today. That game is at 1 o'clock. We'll see how his outing goes. I might recap that and get a podcast out there for that. But not looking very good for the two New York baseball teams. Switching gears right now, we're going to talk about the Rangers for a moment. Disappointing, very disappointing end to the season for the New York Rangers, who, I don't know, besides the Trouba hit, just didn't show up to the game the other night. Shutout, 5-0 in a Game 7, where the window in the East is wide open for the Rangers. This is one of the years, I think, in this time frame where you could say, like, the Rangers had a dominant chance at winning a Stanley Cup. The East was wide open. Boston out. The Lightning out. Two teams that notoriously have given the Rangers problems in the playoffs. The Islanders out, who have been a tough matchup for the Rangers. Even though the Rangers are much more skillful, the Islanders are a tough matchup for the Rangers, just based on the physicality that the Islanders bring. Those three teams out. Toronto Maple Leafs, who are pushovers. They won a series in the first round. Great, congratulations. Probably the first one since JFK was assassinated. No, it's been more like 20 years since they've won a first round series. But pushovers, notoriously choke jobs in the playoffs. The Florida Panthers, who took the Bruins to the brink, best team in NHL history, and won that series. But the Rangers on paper and just overall are so much better in the top 6 in the defensive department, in goaltending, than any of these teams that are left in the East. And the path was there. The path was there. It was there for the taking. The cup was there for the taking. They made all these moves to go out and get these star players at the deadline. They got Tarasenko. They got Kane. Right then and then, Ranger fans were shouting from the rooftops, Stanley Cup or bust. And to go out in the first round, extremely, extremely disappointing for the New York Rangers. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of Tarasenko and Kane. And next year, Gallant, I don't know if he'll be back here next year. He seemed frustrated after the game. I think he was more frustrated with the fact that the Rangers didn't have enough guys to match up defensively, and they're more offensive skill guys like a Tarasenko or a Kane. They're more skillful playmakers, and they don't contribute so much on the defensive end. So I think he was frustrated with that. But I don't think Gerard Gallant will be here next year. I think the Rangers will bring in a defensive-minded coach. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think they're going to need to tighten up the ship if they want to run it back next year and have a chance at the Stanley Cup. But difficult lost the other night. As a Ranger hater, I feel bad for Ranger fans because I really think this was the year that they could have just cakewalked to the Stanley Cup, and they couldn't get past Akira Schmidt. Credit to the New Jersey Devils. The Devils were flying all over the ice the other night. They were on the Rangers from puck drop. There was an onslaught of pucks at the net. Igor Shesterkin, out of this world goaltender. If any goalie but Igor Shesterkin was playing against the Devils the other night, that score would have been 12-15-0. Some of the saves that Shesterkin was making, point-blank saves, 2-on-1 saves, absolutely incredible. The guy stood on his head the whole entire game. He gave the Rangers a chance, even when the offense wasn't performing and the power play was continuing to sputter. He gave the Rangers a chance. He kept them in the game. But yeah, credit to the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey Devils are they're moving on. They lost their first game last night. Actually, they got pumped 5-1 by Carolina. So that's going to be an interesting series. We'll see if the Devils can bounce back there. We'll see what happens with the Rangers. It's going to be interesting. They have a lot of things to do in the offseason. If the coach is going to be there or not, it remains to be seen. Let's move on from the Rangers because I get sick just talking about them. Let's talk about a team that I'm excited about. We'll talk about the fucking New York Knicks, all right? We're going to talk about the New York Knicks. The Knicks the other night, scrappy win against a Heat team that was without Jimmy Butler. Kudos to the Heat. A lot of times in that situation, when the star player's out, you already took one game on the road. Teams just have a tendency to maybe not even come out as hard, maybe lay down and die, like the Philadelphia 76ers did last night. They took one on the road, and last night got shit pumped by the fucking Celtics, lost by 40 points. So, a scrappy Heat team. Caleb Martin filled in for Butler, and of course led the team in points, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Gabe Vincent, who's just does not go away. The guy makes 40% of his three-pointers, drops 21 points. But the Knicks had a strong performance, led by their two top dogs, Brunson with 30, Randall with 25, and then R.J. Barrett is starting to come into his own as a New York Knick. He had 24 points. And the reason why this game was so close, I got to be honest, the secondary scoring for the Knicks just was not there the other night. We saw in game one, Obi Toppin was involved. He had 10 points. The other night, 0, and 10 minutes played. Quickly, at 3 points. Quentin Grimes played 25 minutes, only had 3 points. If the Knicks are going to win this series, regardless if Jimmy Butler is healthy or not, they're going to need their complementary players to start contributing offensively. It's great that Brunson scored 30. It's great that Randall scored 25 and Barrett scored 25. You can't rely on all three of those guys to score 25 plus a night in a playoff series that's very physical with this Heat team. It almost reminds me of like the late 90s Heat Knicks matchups. It's physical. Teams are taking it inside into the paint, getting N1s. Defense is being played. It's going to be a great, intense, physical series. But the Knicks are not going to be able to get past the Heat if they do not get the complementary scoring from the likes of Grimes, Toppin, Quickly when they're in the game. Can't sing the praises of this guy enough. Josh Hart is an absolute stud. Missed the triple-double the other night by 1 assist, 14, 11, and 9. One of the better trades I think the Knicks have had in my lifetime at the trade deadline. Unbelievable acquisition. The guy's he's matching up with the best players on the other side of the ball. He's been marking Butler. The last series he marked Mitchell. And then he contributes offensively, and not only does he contribute offensively, he hits the boards. He gets rebounds. He dishes the ball. He makes the smart plays. Josh Hart, a great pickup for the Knicks. He needs to get re-signed immediately to a multi-year extension at the end of this season, wherever it takes the Knicks. But next Knicks game, Saturday night in Miami. All right, 3:30 in the afternoon. Heat are currently favored by 3.5 points, which leads me to believe they think Jimmy will play this game. I thought it was smart for the Heat to rest Jimmy the other night. Even if he could give it a go at like 70, 80%, they had 5 days off from Tuesday to Saturday. Just let the guy get the treatment on the ankle and rest up for Saturday. They already did their job. They took the home court advantage away from the Knicks. They got the split on the road, and now they're going to try and beat the Knicks at home. Very interested to watch that game on Saturday afternoon. Hopefully we can at least get a split in Miami. It would be great if the Knicks can go back to the Garden up 3-1 and Heat in 5. Like the fucking Garden crowd was going insane the other night, chanting outside, screaming at the top of their lungs, Knicks in 5. So we'll see what happens. Just hoping for a split on the road. That's what we need here. We need a split on the road, get it back to the Garden, get a win, and then let's close the series out. Yeah, Knicks basketball, baby. The Knicks are back. The Knicks are back. Excited. Fucking Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Lastly, what I really wanted to talk about, the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is fully bought in to being the quarterback of the New York Jets. I know a lot of the concern when there was talks about the trade was he's not really all there. Like the last few years he was in Green Bay, he wasn't at OTAs, he wasn't at mini camps. He's not really all in on football anymore. The questions have been answered. Aaron Rodgers is all in. He's at OTAs right now. He's at mini camp. He's at the mini camp. He's getting work in with all the starters. Wilson's there. Lazard's there. Corey Davis is there. The tight ends are there. He's getting the work in, and he's embracing this New York culture, which I think is huge. It's huge. He's taking the young guys out to Madison Square Garden for games. They were courtside at the Knicks game the other night. They were on the fucking Rangers bench the other night, right behind the glass. Aaron Rodgers is bought in. And if we have a bought in, committed to win Aaron Rodgers, watch out to the NFL. Because I think the last few years, he probably was mentally checked out at Green Bay. I think the Love pick really did do something to him mentally. The fact that like he was winning MVPs and needed help offensively on the offensive side of the ball, and then they go and draft a quarterback in the first round instead of helping him win potentially another championship in Green Bay. I think that really did mess with Aaron's mind a lot. But he's bought in. He's bought in. He's answered all the questions so far that the critics had of the trade when the trade was made. And he's doing it the right way. He's bringing the young guys out. He's trying to bring this winning culture together. And I like what I've been seeing so far. I like what I've been seeing in the media about the young guys talking about Aaron and his presence in the room and the things he's been doing to try and get these guys all to buy in on this 2023-2024 season. I'm in. I'm bought in. I already told you guys I am so bought in on this season. The fact that the guy's even here and he's playing quarterback for the New York Jets is a fucking Christmas miracle for me. Because if I had to watch another year of Zach Wilson, I have to be honest with you, at a 13-story building right now, I probably would have jumped off the roof of one of the buildings that I work in because I just can't do it. Zach Wilson, whatever. I'm just glad I do not have to watch that kid play quarterback. Rodgers has said the right things about Wilson. Said that he wants to be a mentor for Wilson. He wants to get that kid to develop. And I don't give a fuck, to be honest, if he develops under Aaron or not. but the fact that Aaron is a willing mentor and wants to help Wilson grow, I can appreciate that. As far as seeing Zach Wilson play, I don't want to see him play for 2 to 3 years because I've had enough. I've had enough misery. I've had enough suffering. We've talked about this a million times on here, on this podcast. I've had enough. So, big things coming from the New York Jets. I'm excited. You should all be excited. You should all buy in. Ticket prices are going up. Group tickets, my ticket rep called me yesterday and actually told me that they're closing the window of season ticket holders being able to put in deposits for group ticket pricing because there's so many demands that they just don't have enough tickets. So it looks like the Jets fan base is fucking buying in. Season ticket prices have gone up. Face value of my tickets have gone up $35 per seat just because this guy's playing quarterback for the New York Jets. This guy being the 3-time MVP, Super Bowl winning champion, Aaron Rodgers. So buy in, be excited. The Jets are going to go places this year. I'm telling you right now. If they don't, just prepare for a nice obituary in a paper somewhere. But we're not going to get that grim. We're not going to get that upset. Positive mindset, positive thoughts. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, New York Jets. Number 8, quarterback, New York Jets. All right, guys, that's about it for today. Thank you again for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll be back some point next week. We'll recap the Knicks. We'll hopefully talk about some Mets wins, some Yankee wins. More positive news in the baseball world of New York. Hopefully we're talking about a nice Verlander performance the next time we speak. But until then, you guys stay cool as the other side of the pillow out there. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.